It's true, bamboo bedding is dreamy to sleep on. That's why Quince aptly named their Bamboo Dream Quilt Set. Coming in 12 colors, you're absolutely going to love this quilt and 2 shams set. Starting at the softest of pinks and going all the way to a dark navy. It's going to be perfect for anyone's room. Your own, your guest rooms, your kids' rooms, maybe even back to the dorm bedding. Quince has everything you need to elevate your space, from bedding to soft organic towels, airy curtains, and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And of course, as you know, Quince has gorgeous cashmere and other wardrobe essentials. And the best part, Quince's products are half the cost of similar brands. They partner with top artisans and cut out the cost of the middleman, passing the savings on to us. Thank you, Quince. And they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, so you can feel good about your purchases from Quince. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
It's summer and the decorating is easy.
Our decorating is classic and timeless, as is our advice. So today we're sharing a classic DTT episode from the archives with you.
Hi, I'm Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks, Summer Decorating Tips.
The decorating is easy because you're listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And
Exactly.
We've got great ideas for you today to transform your spaces a little bit for the new season. You can achieve this really summery feel by just doing a few simple things.
Mm-hmm. And I don't really buy a whole new arsenal of things. I'm just kind of careful about which things I choose to be sitting out. And, for example, all those furry throws, as much as I adore them in the winter, I really don't want to be seeing them right now. Those get put up at our house, and hopefully at your house as well.
Yeah, I'm always slow to put those away. Then there's the day where you're just like, oh gosh, I can't even look at this anymore. It's making me hot to look at it. So yeah, I put all my Mongolian pillows away, and I put
all the alpaca throws.
All the throws. Yeah, I even have a ton of furry throws. So they all went away, and I brought out some linen ones. So really for me, I don't think I've purchased anything new. You guys will be listening to this and we're just sliding into the summer. Everybody's mind is probably turning towards the summer. The kids are ready for school to be over. You might not be ready for school to be over, but you might be ready to change out your pillow covers or something like that. So that's what you can get started doing.
Right. And I think both of us have a very similar approach to this. We do some changing out as the seasons change, but I don't have a lot of closet space to store off-season items. So I don't have a lot of beach signs and, faux surfing boards that I'm putting up on the wall. We're not really suggesting that you do all of that. These are kind of subtle changes so that, I like, for example, having out a cloche. In the winter, you can put something wintry in it, and the spring and fall. And then in the summer, you can put something summery in it. So what you might want to put in your cloche for the summer seashells.
Yes, definitely. It's kind of like a taking away rather than an adding to necessarily. So take away the things that remind you of winter and that feel wintry, and then see how your rooms present themselves to you. Maybe you don't need to really add much of anything at all. Maybe it's just the fact that you took away the things that were wintry and cozy looking and let it go at that. What you can do is if you have heavy draperies or dark draperies, maybe think about just taking them off for the summer. Put them away, hang them in a closet maybe, and put them back up in the fall. Opening the windows that way and letting in more natural light, opening in air quotes, like just taking the window treatments off might be something that will completely change the feel of your space. And if you feel like you need something, maybe put up a light linen, more transparent fabric, a white linen curtain blowing in the summer breeze. That just sums it up for me right there.
Oh, isn't it the truth? And sometimes I've used, especially in a bathroom window where I want light coming in, but I want some privacy. A lot of times I'll just do a cafe rod in there And one of the things I've used is just kind of a sweet hand embroidered pillowcase, cut it and put a little curtain rod in there and use that as a little curtain. I think that's
that's such a cute idea.
Mm-hmm. But it feels very summery, like you were saying.
So it wouldn't be shirred or anything, right? Because it would just be you're only having one pillowcase, so it would just be sort of flat, right?
Well, mine's not flat. Because my window's a little bit
Well, yeah, I guess it really
you
depends
cut
on
it.
why your window is.
That's
right?
Well, the thing to do on the pillow is you're going to cut it in the middle of the back, so it's the front and the back. Once you do that, for my windows, it was a little bit wider. So it is definitely
right.
gathered.
You'd have two sides with the prettiness on it.
Right. But make sure you cut your fabric so that the pattern is centered.
I have so many vintage pillowcases. I love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's really charming. That would be darling in a nursery or a child's room too.
Or even on a door. You could put one of these on a door if you wanted some privacy. Doesn't it remind you of...
screen door slamming,
the wash hanging on the line.
Yeah, the wash. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's the pillowcases and the sheets and everything blowing, like you said, in the breeze.
Yeah. So lighten it up. Put away anything that says winter. Sometimes people have a basket of shoes or something that look wintry, or put all that away. If you have a hat rack or a coat rack by your front door, please don't let scarves and coats and things hang there.
Oh my goodness. Those should be put up now.
Yeah, just put.
They're going to be gathering dust for the next
right, and it shouldn't really be out anyway. But it's certainly not if you're not using it. Put the umbrellas away if the rain has stopped, and all of that.
What about one of those straw market baskets that we both love? How about hanging that on a hook somewhere in your house? Maybe you're able to put a little mason jar in the bottom filled with some water, and then put some yard cuttings in there from some bushes from your backyard.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, I do too.
That's really pretty. And just make sure no one kicks it. I have one of those by my door. I have that entry table. And so I sort of slid it under the entry table. And right now I just have like sort of like a linen throw draped out of it. But I love that idea. And I had used that and had faux pumpkins sort of falling out of it in the fall. So that's a really great thing to have. It's like Anita's cloche. You can always have it there, but you just change up what you're putting inside of it or draping out of it, and it can evoke the feel of the season. What I'm seeing online as far as ideas for summer, very sustainable and natural, unfinished furniture, sort of rough hewn, sun bleached look. It's really great. The color, now they said mustard, I say saffron, but that yellow is very popular, and it's a great color for summer if you like that color, because it is kind of the color of sunflowers and also coral.
Very summery feeling, I think.
Yeah.
And if you want the yellow, what about a bowl of lemons sitting out? I love the smell. I love seeing the fruit sitting out, and lemons will last quite a while sitting out. So I do love leaving those sitting out in a bowl. And when they start to look a little bit like they're seeing their best days behind them, that's when I might cut them up and squeeze them and make some lemon juice from them or something like that.
Yeah. And if you don't want to get that many of them, do that trick where you put a little crunchy paper in the bottom and then just fill them up.
Exactly.
Or you could even do some faux lemons underneath and then just put the real lemons on top. So you only
that's
need
a smart idea.
Real ones. Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. I can't stop using dupe.com. This is an amazing website, service, best friend. I absolutely love it. So you find something that you really want and it's too expensive. It's a budget buster. Then you use dupe.com and you can find almost the exact thing or very similar products for much less. So I was crushing on this incredibly gorgeous coffee table. I had it in my mind. I had it in my Pinterest boards. I had it everywhere, but I just didn't have it in my house because it was too expensive. When I learned about dupe.com, that was the first product that I tested. And boy, did I find some amazing dupes. And I purchased one. So the original was almost $3,000. And Dupe showed me many choices, all the way down to under $200. Now, you may think something this extraordinary is hard to use, but it's so easy. Just type DUPE.com// before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free. That's completely FREE free to use. Stop wasting your money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today.
Wicker and rattan. It's always fresh for this season, but it's definitely on the people's decor radar these days. Not so much as just patio furniture or the odd little accent table. Like rattan has really sort of come into its own as a material that could be next to a wooden chair, that could be in a more formal room. So if you don't have any in your decor right now, this is a great season to add some, and then you can decide in the fall whether or not it comes or goes. Wicker is definitely, I think, more summery. It has more of sort of a temporal feel, like maybe this will last for a season or whatnot. Rattan is a little more substantial. I saw a chair. It's almost like an oval, and the back comes up really high, and it somewhat sort of cocoons you a little bit, like those hanging chairs would. So I can put the link to that chair.
I had one of those.
Yeah, it's not a womb chair like the one from Pier 1. It's an actual chair that you can just like a regular sitting chair. It just has a big high back. It's really cool.
I had the double-seated rattan bench that swung. But I'm with you on the rattan and the wicker, and I think it's a great time to pull out a wicker tray. There's so many beautiful woven trays, and trays are just so classic in decorating. I think it's great to have trays for different seasons, and so definitely I think I would pull out the wicker one.
Or a lucite one. That could be fun too for the summer. Here's a really easy one. I think once you get into the habit of doing it, you're going to love it. Just get a little vase, like a bud size vase, or it could even be a little shot glass. It could be just anything small that will hold water, and put them all around your house and fill them up with things that you clip from the garden, whether it's a little sprig of boxwood or tiny little sprigs of lavender. Put them around. Your family will probably notice. And even if they don't, who cares? You'll notice. It'll just add this organic nature. It just feels like you're bringing the outside in this really little, sweet, easy way. Put it in the bathroom, on the bathroom counter. Put it on your nightstand. Put it in the kitchen. Just have them scattered around. And then, every week or so, depending on what you've got in there, go around, change the water. If they're wilted, you throw them out and go clip something else. But if you're doing boxwood or you're doing any sort of shrubbery, that could last a couple of weeks.
Something else that isn't specific to summer decor, but reminds me of summer, are the large demi-john bottles. And right now on my dining room table, I have 2 on there, and they're about 2.5 feet tall. So they're very large bottles. I think they're beautiful empty, and you can buy new ones. Mine are antique, but you can buy new large bottles also. And they can be empty, or you can put some you'd need to go with a pretty tall branch if you wanted to put some branches in there. And as we've talked about, you can do the faux branches in there, like a beautiful forsythia if you wanted some yellow for the summer. But I think that's just a nice airy feel. And that's what I like about them for the summer, is that they feel very airy. And I don't want anything that's going to make me feel hot in the summer, because it's so blasted hot here. I want my decor to say cool, calm, and collect.
Right. And that's really why you should be changing it up a little bit, even if it's just the takeaway, like we said in the beginning. Here's one that Anita's going to love. How about changing out your duvets to maybe a summer weight, maybe a linen sheet on the top?
Yes.
This might be a great time for you to try those linen sheets we're always telling you about and see how that feels.
Oh, linen on the bed in the summer. I don't even have the words for it. To me, that says luxury. To me, that says comfort.
So I have another idea.
Yes.
You know how your fireplace is kind of more of a wintry thing.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
So
getting to that one.
Oh, okay. Sorry. If you don't have faux logs, maybe you can clean it out and take the logs out of it, and you can put something in there that would evoke more of a summery feeling, like maybe some ferns. So you could even do faux if it's very dark in there, and I think you could pull it off. But you could definitely try a real fern, just have it sort of poke out a little bit. And some of those ferns can be really large. So I would get a really big one. You don't want to have this opening and then put like an 8-inch plant in there. So
That's
something substantial, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about stacked books? I was thinking like you could stack garden books and something in there. Whereas I don't like decor that seems very contrived. Sometimes stuff like that works. So you'd have to play around with it and see if that was for you. And obviously the scale would have to be right. Like how about a giant faux coral? I mean, I don't think it's illegal to get real coral and certainly to get it that big that would fill up the space. But I saw that once. I think it was in a House Beautiful. And I definitely tore the page out and have it in a file somewhere.
I've seen the very large shells that are faux that people use, then put other things in that are beautiful. And speaking of the shells, what about some nautical themed items? I think if you're going to go nautical, this is the time of year to do it. You can add some nice beachy kind of lanterns, something with navy stripes, anything that kind of has that navy on it's going to feel nautical. And I think that's a beautiful feeling for summer. You can put out some straw hats. I love straw hats, especially in the summer, so you can find a way to display those. I love seeing those hung on a wall. And like you said, the floral fabrics. What a great time of year for floral fabrics. And we're saying chintz is back.
I love it. It's just so beautiful. How about a summery candle? If you've got your pine cone candle and it's already burned down, or your pumpkin pie candle. I don't like candles that smell like food, but they exist. So if you have scents like that, or just sort of a really warm, musky scent, if that's something that you've been burning, then switch it over. Find a gardenia, find lilacs, or something clean, or something that smells like the beach. There's so many beautiful scents out there. Try to get yourself a candle that is naturally made, and you don't want to be burning things that are bad for you and putting that into your interior air, of course. And I guess, too, I don't use those sticks and things like that, but that's a way to also infuse your home with some more summery scents and, of course, essential oils.
Oh, that's a great idea. And another thing that I think screams summer, not in a bad way, but in a good way, are the brightly colored striped cotton rugs for summer. I just feel like that's something that you would see at the beach, and that makes me smile when I see something like that. Plus, I just love beautiful, flat woven rugs.
Yeah, that's a great way. I mean, actually, when we were getting ready for this episode, I was thinking I should really change not going to change all my rugs, but I could definitely change the one in my entry, which is a little bit of a darker silvery gray. And it's definitely more old world looking, which can seem a little heavy. So I'm definitely going to change that out for the summer. For me, I wouldn't do navy, but I could probably even get away with a black and white stripe. And that might just be really fun in my entryway.
Well, and you can layer them too. So black and white would be great as a base rug, and you could put something with some color on top of that.
I haven't changed the rug in the entryway. So
I think if you have room, will you just store your current one? Or will you get rid of it?
I could just roll that. It's pretty thin and it's not very big. I could just roll it up and slide it under the sofa, which is kind of what I do if I know people are like, if I have work people coming and I don't want, like, why do they need to walk on my rugs? The ones that I could roll up. So I just roll them up and I put them under the sofa. I could do that now.
Oh, so I'll know if the rug is rolled up that I'm not supposed to stay that long.
No, it means I think you have dirty shoes. Which
means don't stay too long.
I'm sure
no,
you don't.
I don't.
No. So yeah, there's just so many ways to add that little touch of summer. Maybe some twinkly lights and something, evoking the fireflies. Lights. It's a fun season, and you don't have to take it all too seriously. It can be just easy and breezy. And as we started out the podcast episode saying, it might just be a sense where you take some things away.
Well, again, the easiest thing to do is to change out those throws and pillows. And there are definitely some pillows and throws that feel more summery than others. And for the summer, I am with you on the switching out those heavy wool throws for some beautiful lightweight linen ones. And there are so many beautiful throws, but I love a linen throw. They're really gorgeous. And then some beautiful summery pillows that have florals on them, or perhaps a nautical theme or something else. Just some bright colors, perhaps.
So what's our DTT to finds for today?
It's a finger joint. And it's something that I'm sure we've all heard, but you may be wondering, what exactly is a finger joint? It's also known as a comb joint. It's a woodworking joint made by cutting a set of complementary interlocking profiles into two pieces of wood, which are then glued together. So if you pull your dresser drawer out, it probably has a finger joint in the back. And if you can look at it online, you'll go, oh, I've seen this 1,000 times. But if you take both your hands and interlock your fingers, that's what that joint looks like, which is why it's called a finger joint.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's different than a dovetail.
Yes, because the dovetail is a little more secure, but this one doesn't have the angled ends. It's just
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So then you can use dovetail another day, Anita, for another definition.
I may have already done that one. I can't remember. I'll have to go back. I keep a list, so I'll have to go back and check. But yes, good question.
Okay, excellent to know. And that's a great thing to know when you're looking for furniture, whether it be thrifted, consigned, or new, right? Is this something that would give an indication of a higher quality piece of furniture?
I would say it's probably an indication of a newer piece of furniture. I don't think you're going to see that in an antique.
Interesting. Okay. Because I know with the dovetailing, that's something that I do look for an indication of quality. Would you agree?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it could be an indication of quality, but I think it's pretty standard these days.
Okay. My crush is something I'm waiting for, but I have no hesitation in using it as a crush right now. It is the book Walk With Me, New York by Susan Kaufman. Now, you may remember when we were doing the Instagram features for a while that we featured Susan Kaufman's Instagram account. She has a stunning account. She's a photographer, and she takes amazing pictures of New York City and also occasionally out in the Hamptons. Absolutely beautiful. The pictures are swoon-worthy. They certainly take me back to New York, my days there, and my days out east on Long Island. So I really enjoy it for that reason, but also just the beauty of the buildings that she chooses to feature. So if you aren't familiar with Susan Kaufman's work, have a look at her Instagram, which I will link in the show notes.
And my crush is an app called Trulia. It's a real estate app, and I think I mentioned in a previous episode that I was looking at houses online. I don't think we're going to move, but I really kind of got into looking at all these houses. I'm kind of hooked on just enjoying seeing what's out there and how people have decorated their houses and how the house has been done. So I really actually am just on there for fun. But I found
research, Anita. It's all work and research.
That's right. It is. That's right. Excuse me. I'm prepping for a future episode. But when I started looking on my phone, I realized that there were a couple of real estate apps that I was using that were crashing just every few minutes when I was using them. And that's when I started. So I just was trying different ones. And when I popped onto the Truly one, I thought, okay, this app is stable and it's not crashing, which seems like a small bar. It's a low bar.
Yeah.
It seems like all the apps should do that, but this one really does. And so if you're looking, that's a pretty good app to use.
Oh, that's great info.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.